What is up, GOAT World? It is me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you again with another GOAT format video. PWCQ 55 has just concluded, and oh man, another stellar, spectacular dueling tournament. I'm telling you, it was a good time. I know I say that a lot, but these PWCQs are really becoming something special and something I look forward to being a part of each time they come up, and this one was a real treat. 57 of the game's greatest players coming on in. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and show you the top 8 deck list from PWCQ number 55, keeping it 55th Street.
I'm gonna keep it 55th Street.
All through PWCQ. Man, what a tournament it was. Okay, coming in number 8 at the 8th position, we have Yata 88 playing the Chaos Turbo strategy. This Chaos Turbo kind of came back with a vengeance on PWCQ 55. It kind of had a downswing PWCQ 54, and it came back at it again as Yata 88 is going to come in at 8th place finish with a very standard Chaos Turbo deck. One thing I am noticing immediately is the 2 spies. I think 3 spies, you just got to play it. Electing to drop 1 for the Reaper, you got to do what you must do, as you got triple jar, double shoot, torrential tribute is in the side deck. I think that is another theme of these top cutting decks, locating where the torrential tributes are, and that might be something that people can start to build upon, because I'm really seeing some interesting things with these torrential tribute in these top 8 decks. Everything else seems extremely standard, nothing significant to write home about. I do appreciate that Yata 88 is showing some respect for these OTK strategies, FTK strategies, whatnot, by playing these hollowed life barriers. I think that's a pretty cool inclusion in this deck, as you're going to be able to manipulate your discards and everything like that. So giving some respect to those strategies, I think it's pretty interesting, but everything else seems pretty standard. Huge congratulations to you, Yata 88, for your 8th place finish. Keep playing, man. Get back on that spice. He's trying to get that invite, so he's playing these meta decks. I don't blame him. Coming to 8th place, you're getting closer than ever. Okay, speaking of the spice, we're back-to-back top performances with Pui. PWCQ 54, she came in with the run control, but now she's back in her burn bag, doing it in another Pui way, taking in these massive darkness in this 20 trap card burn lineup. I think Pui has made some assessment that Royal Decree stock has been low, and I don't think she had to encounter that card, because if she were to encounter a main deck Royal Decree, you're gonna have a bad time playing this 20 card burn deck. But still, she does it better than probably anybody, one of the frontline burn players that we have, and kind of doing it in another unique style, more of a usually there's like a hybrid lockdown aggro style, but this one seemed like it's leaning way more lockdown version, but still has some aggressive elements. You got the Ojama Trio, and you have the Gakugire Panda we can punch for some serious damage underneath your floodgates. Also, including Mask of Darkness in this burn strategy could be cool. I think it's interesting being able to recycle your Solemn Judgments, recycle your burn traps, recycle a Nightmare Wheel in a pinch that you need it. I think that's really cool. Also, you got these Big Shield Gardeners that's going to help defend you against the Mind Cons and the Nobleman of Crossouts that most people are playing. I think is really, really cool. Also, the Dead's Koala, which I think is another really strong card in our meta game, with Chaos Turbo being exactly what it is. Side deck, you can do a little bit of conversion. You can kind of go to more of a traditional burn style strategy post side, maybe reduce some of these traps to kind of help you against a side deck Royal Decree, which could be an option. So I think it's a really solid deck. As always, you guys know Pui's on YouTube, so I'm sure she's going to talk more about this deck in extreme detail. So go ahead and make sure you subscribe to her channel and check it out. Huge shout out to Pui. She's on a rampage, coming in back-to-back top performances. Love to see it. I love to see it doing with these unique and cool decks. Keeping burn alive is very, very important to the game. I know a lot of people hate it when I say that, but shout out to Pui for a 7th place finish. Very cool deck. Okay, moving on, we have Shogun, a very standard Chaos Turbo deck. This one looks very regular. There's absolutely nothing to write home about this deck. I mean, it's going to be it. This is what it is. Chaos Turbo is going to be Chaos Turbo. But still, I'm noticing these torrential tributes. These Chaos Turbo players, I don't know if they like it in the main deck, but Shogun said, I'm not going to play the card at all, which I think is an oversight. I think Torrential Tribute is one of the best 60 cards in the game, 55 cards, whatever you want to call it. I think you need to play it. You need to play it, especially with the Warriors being around. You got this Thunderclap stuff being around. You got this Convergence side, this Earth, all these cards around. Reasoning. I think Torrential Tribute covers a lot of matchups right now. It has the ability to plus. It might not be the most optimal card in the mirror most of the time or some of the time, but still, I think it's too strong of a card to not be played. But Shogun is a great player, so he's going to you got to play the cards that you enjoy and the things that you like to use. But having Torrential Tribute, I think at least just the threat of Torrential Tribute, Because when people deduce that you don't have it or you're not playing it, they're really going to do some absurd off the wall stuff on you, and you don't want to run into those kind of problems. So I would go ahead and try to throw it back in. I'm not sure if it's a player thing or something, but definitely in these 55 cards. But other than that, the deck is really cool, really solid. Turbo deck is going to be what it is. Very optimized deck. You guys know the vibes, so it's really not a lot to say about it. But I would definitely say, and double Sook, you got double Sook there. That's pretty interesting too. Double Sook, great against control, great against warriors. I don't hate that either. So solid deck, very cool ratios, except for the Trencher's of Tribute. I would like to see that in there. But huge shout out to Shogun, GFC champion in the building. Welcome back to Goat World's top 6 finish. Rocking on in. Okay, cool. And in 5th place, back-to-back top after winning PWCQ 54 and 52, coming back with another top performance in 5th place this time. He was able to be defeated, so he can lose. He can bleed as Alvarado is back at it again, playing another unique, cool deck, keeping this transition theme alive. So he's really figured something out, and this is definitely something that if I were a top player, or if I was someone who's on this very competitive circuit, I would really look at what Alvarado is doing with these sides, because he's getting the results and he's making it very difficult to metagame against him based on how he's making these decks. So turn 1, he's coming out with this very aggressive Earth Warrior style deck. So I'm thinking that this is really just a beatdown deck. He's coming out and he's just beating your ass game number 1. He sits behind these Road Decrees and he's able to punch for some serious damage with all these attacking guys, jump on you super quick, clock you down. Game 2, if you're a responsible duelist, you're probably going to reduce some of the the anti-set stuff, the nobleman stuff, the Mycon stuff, the trap does shoot stuff. All that is going to be gone. And then he got this full smoke screen side coming at you yet again with a chaos. You got face flipping freely. You got Sorks are coming in. You got these Abort, and just to change up your whole recipe and just really put your opponent in a serious conundrum. So these transition sides, it's something to be explored. You see these players on these front lines, they're doing this stuff and he's having some great results. And it's just makes it's really difficult to map out how you're going to play against a strategy like this. So it's really cool to see. I'm glad to see that he's still experimenting with this stuff. Maybe he's using these PWCQs as a testing pool or testing ground against some of the best players, and it's still working. So clearly there is something there to be built upon because it's working, and he's setting the pace for everyone to see. So again, huge shout out to Alvarado. Keep doing it, keep grinding, keep playing, and keep continuing on and see how far you can get. Congratulations as well for pushing your ranking up to the deity status. Very rarefied air. A lot of GOAT format players are not able to do that. So huge kudos to you. All right, moving on. We are now in the top 4. The top 4, we have Fresh IRL back in the scene. He took another duel that took a little break, but he decided to show back up to PWCQ number 55, playing this version of Chaos Return. We're going to call this still return strategy. Very solid strategy, very solid deck. I really enjoy looking at triple Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke in the main deck of this thing. Fresh is another player that I say is kind of out front, kind of looking at the metagame, understanding what's going on, understanding what needs to happen, and trying to make it happen. Triple Ninja might be a cool card because GK Spy is so freaking strong. Now you got a guy in your deck that can absolutely run it down. Maybe having a Blade Knight or something, maybe felt in his testing or in his theorizing, maybe you felt his field was always going to be secured, and you're always going to have maybe as a Borg or a Dead Chaos or something in your hand. He's not going to be full Blade, so I don't hate not having Blade, but Triple Ninja I think is something that could be built upon to kind of put these spies back in their place where they belong, because these guys are too prevalent. The one Bazu the Soul Eater, double return. I think the deck is solid. Side deck, got triple one Bato, you got double Mobius, you got some face coming on in there. Same thing. They're probably going to reduce some of their knocks and whatnot once you reveal the return elements. And once you reveal, you were playing a lot of these aggressive options, they're probably going to take some of their knocks down. You got the face going to be flipping freely. Giant Grenade, another great card coming in, can cover a lot of matchups, especially when you're going second. And then you got the Skull Layer and Dust Tornado. It's cool deck, cool solid deck, very very creative, very forward thinking. I think a lot of stuff going into this. So shout out to Fresh. Like to see that triple Kaiku, triple Ninja Grand. It might be up next. I think that's really cool. All right, huge shout out to Fresh. Welcome back. Keep dueling. And I'm sure you're going to make it back to the Go Format World Championship as well. Okay, moving on to third place again with another back-to-back performance. You got Nate Dogg. He's climbing, man. He's topping there. He's topping. He's climbing. He's topping. He's climbing. Cannot get over the damn. He just can't get it. When Nate wins, I'm going to celebrate, dude. I'm going to feel so happy when Nate finally wins. As we got third and fourth place are both playing the return strategy, but this one's a little more classic. I think this is a more classic build. You got those Shining Angels in there, which are kind of textbook return items. You got the Blade Knights in there, the Double Chaos Sorcerer, the BLS are going to be some of the return fueling cards. You got those Zaborgs in there, which kind of just refuels return. And that thing was going crazy, man. If you can get a Zaborg Banish Chaos play, your return is just going to be so vibrant and so bulky early. I think it's cool, man. You got the triple Koichi triple spy, same thing. Very, very solid deck, man. This is a really cool deck, and it kind of has a very decent Chaos Turbo matchup as well. This deck can jump all over Chaos Turbo because just how it's built. Also, Nate Dogg sticking with the triple Minecon. I talked to him. I talked about it. He said it just works. It feels good, even if you neg on it, or even if it doesn't hit. You know what I'm saying? You can just move cards out of the way, and it helps fuel your return. And if you can plus on it, or if you can snipe a GK spy on it, you can now tribute that plus spy for for Zaborg, and you're vibrating, man. So you got to play the cards you like. So I still think Minecon, people are juking that thing. Just look at these decks, man. Minecon is getting played a lot, but I think I think it'll be something. So you got the Hysteric Fairy, and also Jogging the Spiritualist are going to round out the side deck. Another cool card, Roulette Barrel as well, going crazy. So huge shout out to Nate Dogg, man. He's going to keep making it, keep playing, Nate. It's just a matter of time. I know I'm saying the same thing, but it's just a matter of time, big dog. You're going to make it eventually, and we're all going to celebrate as Nate Dogg makes it to the GOAT Format World Championship. But very cool. UI's Finest is in the building, knocking it out as always. Okay, huge congrats to Nate Dogg. Moving on to second place, we got Patrick Zero, another duelist that has not been around for a while. Took a long break. I haven't seen Patrick Zero in these tournaments in a minute. Took a long break, came back at it again with this GOAT Control deck. And what are the chances that you have Summoner of Illusion in back-to-back events making top performances? That is just blowing my mind. You know, you don't really see too much Summoner of Illusions out here. I might have throw this dude onto the thumbnail or something. But Summoner of Illusion looking very cool. Awesome looking card. Great deck. And it was kind of cooking too. You see Summoner of Illusion. He brings out the Gatling Dragon. 8-star meta the Summoned of Illusion one into an actual realistic Gatling Dragon. I think that's really cool. Keeping the Fiend Skull on the field. We've talked about this card. It's very, very cool. The Double Abyss Soldier situation, strong card in this metagame, and Triple Faith is going to be in this GOAT Control deck along with DMOC, Double Book of Moon, no Solemns, no Dust, no nothing. We're keeping it straight up and down, and we're keeping it moving. GOAT Control all the way. Cyberjar was actually quite nutty for Patrick Zero as well, and it came up huge in some pretty tight spots. So I love to see that. In the side deck, you also are playing a little bit of transition. So this is another concept where you're kind of switching up, change up, keeping your opponent guessing. You have this warrior package that is able to come in and go more of instead of just straight up GOAT Control, you can start to continue to aggress your opponent a little bit more in games 2 and beyond. I think that's another a good tempo change up, just to keep your opponent off kilter and they don't know exactly what's going on. I think that is where the meta, especially for these PWCQs, maybe in your local area or the game at large, in the larger, more open tournaments, this might not be the best strategy for you, but in this meta, you need to be able to keep your opponent guessing or not knowing exactly what you got going on. Especially when the replays are available, they're gonna dial you up. So having an edge, I think, is really important. And Patrick Zero was able to do that with this GOAT Control deck. Very cool deck. I like to see it. Okay, but still like to see it. We have Rehab is back at it again. Overdose is back at it again. In first place, we have none other than Insidious, and this has number 54 on it. Oh my goodness, I will update that. This is not 54. I don't know how this happened. What is going on? This is supposed to be 55 right here. Don't forget that says 54 right there. But anyway, I'm gonna fix it before I upload it to the website. But we have Insidious knocking it out, finally getting over the top. Deck was running hot, playing Chaos Turbo. You guys know what time it is. Very standard Chaos Turbo deck, but if you notice, the location of Torrential Tribute is going to be in the main deck. So maybe that thing came up huge a couple times, and the fact that he had it in the deck could have been the difference of why Insidious is now in first place and not in a lower ranking in this tournament. But Insidious already had one invite to the GOAT Format World Championship. Now he has two, playing Chaos Turbo. He was playing very well. I mean, if you go back and watch the stream or go look at some of the previous replays, you can see how he was doing it. The deck was running hot. He was drawing good. He will admit that, but there was some tight spots that it required him to make some key pivotal decisions that led him to end up in a winning advantageous position. So again, as I always say, it's not going to be about the deck all the time, but it will be about the player and their capacity to play it, and Insidious can do that. So it is very, very cool as he has secured another invitation to the GOAT Format World Championship. But I just want to do a quick rundown of these decks, the top 8 decks, these will be on the website at some point. So if you want to get out here and play in these tournaments, make sure you join the PWCQ program. There will be another one on March 23rd. Also, March the 9th, there will be Format Library Championship, free to enter, go format tournament. Maybe you can net deck one of these decks, enter into that event, and then we can see your name in lights. But that's all I have. I wanted to do this very quickly. As always, I'm JDZ. I play GOATs. So the next time, shout out to all the real ones. Salute to the OGs. Peace.